Hi everyone, greeting you today from where I am in my basement. My name is Chris and this is ANC Candles and Car Air Fresheners. Well, usually I'll show you guys my cardstock car air freshener, but today I'll be showing you guys my wooden car air freshener that someone ordered. He actually ordered two of the kits. Usually I sell them by a complete set. So that complete set will come with one wooden car air freshener that is already fragrant, which is scented, and it will come with two felt cardstock, which is also scented based on the wood fragrance. So if the wood is mahogany, the felt cardstock will be scented mahogany. So he can just use them in his car. Okay, but I think when he ordered this, I think he's using it as a gift for people, probably because how urgent he wanted me to send those. Okay, and also he ordered candles. Okay, he ordered actually one candle, and I'm already making the candle, so it's already been made. And once that is fully melted, I'll take you guys, a little bit through the process of how I make my candles. But also, I'll be showing you guys the wooden car air freshener, which you guys have seen. So these have been sitting in this bucket. You can see they are fully dry. They are fully dried now. Okay, these have been sitting in the bucket for about Friday. Today is Sunday, so it's been sitting since Friday. Okay, they are ready to go. All right. So those are the two he ordered, and I will be putting this in. Right here, it is actually fully fragrant. It's fully ready to go in the car. All I just need to do is put the clip that goes into the vent right there. Okay, just put it right there, and it's ready to go. Once the fragrance has been fully depleted from this wood, the smell is no longer strong as now. Because right now it's very strong. The smell will not last forever, right? So it's going to deplete. It's not going to completely go away. So if you bring it close to your nose, you might smell it, but not as strong as it is right now. Okay. So once that has happened, the customer has two of this that will come per this kit. Okay, so once this is depleted, they can just add this, or they can add it whenever they want, even immediately as they get this, and then they will close it up and then put it in their vent, just like that. So the air coming from their vent hits these openings, 12 of them, right? And they push the fragrance from this cardstock out through this little by little. Because if I made this hole up like very big, just gonna push the fragrance all at the same time, and then making this just run out quick. So this just helps to release it slowly. I don't want to make it so overpowering whereby your customers are having headaches or too much fragrance coming to them at the same time. You don't want that. So you just want to release it slowly. So that's why I made these little openings right here. Okay. So that's what he ordered. He ordered two of those, and they are ready to be packed and put together. But I'm just waiting for the car I'm just waiting for the candles to be ready so I can put everything together and then send to him tomorrow morning. Okay, so let me show you guys how I put this together. All right, so I forgot to show you guys the kind of a little bit of how the candle is going to look like. I'm using my customized candle mold. I've showed you guys this before, I believe, in one of my videos. So these are my customized candle mold. Right now, it doesn't look like anything that has been customized. If you look at it just outside, it just looks like that. But if I show you inside, you guys can start seeing a little bit of the customization that is in there, right? So when this candle is fully made, you guys will see how it comes out. This is something that I've been working on. I've told you guys before in my older video about my candles. I worked on this design for some time and I sent it out to a mold maker to help me make this, and I made about 50 of these. And if you look inside, you would see my logo. I don't know if you guys can see it. My logo in there, right there. So that logo in there is going to be imprinted in the candle, the top of the candle. So right now, this is the bottom where I pour the candle. When this candle is fully solidified, okay, I'm going to take this, I'm going to remove the mold. And when I flip it, this becomes the top. So when people see the candles, they see my logo imprint on top of it and the other design that comes with the candle. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys an example. I think you guys have seen this before. So it's going to look something like this, right? But in a different color, because this one is lavender. The one I'm making is redolence, and that is a different fragrance. That's actually the exclusive fragrance I use for my executive car air freshener, which the guy bought. All right, so he bought the executive car air freshener, and that is the fragrance oil that I'll be using for his candle. That's what he asked for. So when that one is done, I'll be showing you guys. The top right now of this one is not right because some errors that I made trying to experiment in something new, trying to find out how I can do something new on top of it. And I kind of messed it up. So that's why this one is not for sale. It's just pretty to look at, but the top is not. So I'll show you guys. So right here, I try to create something different, but then it's kind of covered my logo, okay? But I'll show you the finished product of the one I'm making, and it will not look anything like this. To look really nice and smooth. All right, so that's what I wanted to show you guys. I will get into making the car air freshener right now, and after I'm making the car air freshener, I will then show you the candles, and after that I will pack everything together and get ready to ship to the customer tomorrow. All right, guys, stay tuned. All right, guys, so the wax has fully melted, so I'm going to be pouring it into this jar and be pouring it into my already prepared wick and my mold. Okay, so what I'll be doing first is putting in the first layer, and the first layer for me is just to make sure when I put my chunks in them, they line up and they sit well the way I want them to sit well. And I don't want any chunks to be in the base, which would then be my top of my candle. I don't want them to be seen. I want them to be embedded inside the wax itself. So that's why I'm putting my first layer right now. Okay. So I did 4 ounces just to start, actually 4.5 ounce just to start, okay, to put the base first, just to fill up the base. I already have my fragrance oil measured for this 4 ounce. Zero that. Just gonna pour that in. Okay. Then I give it a good stir. The rule of thumb for this is there for 2 minutes. Okay, just to have a good mixture. If you're using like some sort of power mixture, like a machine to mix, you don't need 2 minutes. But if you're doing one, like if you're doing manual stirring like I'm doing, the rule of thumb is to mix for 2 minutes. All right, but I've seen people and I've heard people say you don't have to mix for 2 minutes, but to each their own. Sometimes I have mixed for 2 minutes, sometimes I have mixed for less than 2 minutes, just depending on the kind of fragrance I'm working with. But you know what, everybody just have their own way of doing things, so long as your candle are safe. Okay, your candle, as long as your candles are safe and they are not spilling um, oil instead of a good mixture. Sometimes when you don't mix too much, there will be a separation between your wax and your um, oil, which could cause problem when you are burning them, because the wick will not be able to burn properly. All right, so just stir for longer time if you can. Some people like to stir for more than 2 minutes, but if you don't want to stir for more than 2 minutes, do what is best for your practice. Okay. All right, this is all fully stirred up. Now I will be mixing this or pouring this into my mold. This is the first pour. Okay, so that's it. So right now I'm just gonna wait until this is fully solidified, and then I'll come back and I'll add the chunks in them. And after adding the chunks, I'll pour the final pour, and then wait for um, probably 6 hours, and I'll be back. Then I will mold it and then pack it up. All right, while the candle is solidifying, is cooling off, I am gonna prepare this. And this guy, the buyer, this buyer ordered the vertical one, so they will be going this way instead of this way, right? So they'll be going this way, vertical. All right, so that's what I'm gonna be doing. So I'm gonna put some glue. Got this can go in here, but just to make sure it stays, see, just to make sure it stays permanently, I put glue there to also give it some extra help. All right. Okay. So now I'm going to help it by kind of pushing it. That's why you guys probably wondering what is this dumbbell doing here, is to help me force this in a little bit. Okay. So I'm just going to give it some gentle tap all around, so it could just fit snugly, so it could just fit in nicely. You guys can see it's snugly tight, it's flushed in there. See that? Okay, I'm gonna do the second one. Okay. All right, both of them are now in the vertical position, so they go in just like that. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is just snap that in. There's a magnetic groove in here, so it snaps. It's not going anywhere. See that? You can just take it off. Easy to put in, hard to shake off. Okay. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is put this felt in their bags. You can see that, loaded with fragrance oil. Okay, and with that, I will have to get some of my bags. So right here, always 2 per kit. So this particular kit is going to have this particular kit. This is already scented, all right, and this is going to be put inside the housing like I explained before to give it additional longevity. And you're using, so you're getting 2 for 1. So he's getting 2 per box. This is going to go in the bag. Actually 2 of them going to go in the bag right there, right there. Okay, I'm going to seal that up. All right, so these are ready. Next thing I'm going to do is to put them in their boxes. So right here is one of the boxes that will go in. And they will be going in here just like this. Okay, but I still have to do some work on this. All right, we're gonna put this in a shrink wrap. All right, let's get the heat going. All right, so here they are, all shrink wrapped, right? So ready to be put in the box. So when the customer receives it, they know they are receiving a premium car air freshener, not just a regular car air freshener. Okay, so one goes in here, the other goes in here. Then we put the felt cardstock in as well. Okay, Then I'm going to put the notes and their um, car care card. We have candle care card, and I also have car care card, right? Right, so I have the card here. Is a car care card. I usually put their name here. So thank you, and I put their name right there. And it says, welcome to exclusivity and distinction, driving absolute redolence. Okay, and this is just the car precaution, the user precaution for the car. All right, so I'm going to be putting this in there as well. But before that, I have to make sure they know what they order. Sometimes people order stuff and or I order stuff and I don't even know what I ordered because it's been a long time that I ordered it or I just forgot about it. And I've had people say the same thing. They order car air freshener, but I don't really know what they order because they just buy it on impulse or they bought something. But if you give them like something like this, that will let them know exactly what they order. So right here, this person ordered the executive, and this is the blue de Chanel type. Okay, that's what it is. So it's grapefruit, bergamot, jasmine, lavender, cedar, and musk. Okay, so that's what they ordered. So I'll be putting this as well in there. And I'll just put a little bit of seal so it doesn't fall off when they are opening it. Okay, well, I think this will work. I just put a little bit so the person can, like, when they get it, you just when they try to open their card, things are not just falling everywhere and stuff. Okay, so that way they can slowly open things up. I don't know, so it's just something I want to do. So I just push this down and hold for some time, and once it's sealed, I just let it. All right, they're sealed. So the label is not coming off. Okay, so put that in here. I'll put this in here. Okay, so I'm just going to close this. All right, so these are ready to go. Just got to put my shipping label right here. Shipping label right here, and then put them in a box. Usually I ship them like this if it's just one. Okay, just an individual one, I ship them like this with a label there. But because there are two of them going to the same person, I'm just going to put them in a small box and then ship to that person. Okay, so that's how these ones are going. Okay, now I'm going to go look at my candle and make sure the candle is also ready to go. Pour it in and leave it for another 6 hours and then show you guys how it turns out. Okay, so we're right here at the candle station. So um, I already have the chunk placed in. Let me see if I can show you guys. So the chunks are already in. So now I will be pouring in the wax. I have my oil already mixed. So be pouring in the wax and then coming back 6 hours later to make sure everything is all good. All right, show you what is going on here. So I'm going for 10 ounces. Here we go. Kind of overshot 10 ounces. So that's 10, 35. Okay, we're going to start with that because the second pour is just going to be to a certain level. of the mold so I can do my last pour. So it's three pours I normally do when I do candles, because the last pour is very important, because the wax I'm using, although it's a blend of soy wax, still, because it's a mold and it's a pillar candle, there might be a sinkhole. I said might because it doesn't always happen, but I always prepare for that. Okay, so there might be a sinkhole that you have to refill. Okay, so that's why I do three pours for my candles. All right, so let's try this one. So I've measured my fragrance oil, 10, 15. That's perfect. I use 10% fragrance oil to my um, wax. Okay, so I measured it perfectly right there. Now I'm just going to stir. You want to really stir your candle wax that is mixed with your fragrance oil. You really want to do that. You want to stir for some time, because you don't want that separation that will happen. Okay, you don't want that. It's like separation anxiety with your candle wax and your oil. Like they don't want to be friends with each other. They are not homogeneously mixed, and they are not dancing together. They are just avoiding each other like a bad relationship. You don't want that. You want it to be really mixed, so that you don't have any issue when your customers start burning them. Okay, that is the worst nightmare for a candle maker, for a customer to send them a picture that shows a separation. It's like separation between church and state. Okay, it's just like a bad combination. You don't want that. It's a nightmare, because if you just have the oil on top and the wax on the bottom, you could start a fire. You don't want that, right? So you want to make sure everything is mixed up properly. All right, if you're in doubt, just keep mixing. All right, guys. Okay, I think that's enough mixing. All right, now let's pour this in, and we'll wait for 6 hours and we'll be back. Okay, let's pour this in. And that is perfect. That's the perfect pour right there. The reason I said that is because, hey, it's not a science, it's just all measurement. I've mastered the technique of this. I have it written down, the exact amount of fragrance oil that I need to the exact amount of wax that I need to fill this up. I already mastered that. So the last part I'm going to do is just going to be tiny. Just going to go around, okay? It's not going to be too much. Just going to go around. And that's exactly how I've always, used this. That's exactly how I made the calculation, and that's always coming up like this. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is tap around it to release any bubbles that might be sitting in there. Okay, this is very important. This is chunk. Okay, and if you don't tap around, you might have some areas where you have just imperfections due to bubbles. Okay, so I eliminate those by doing what I'm doing right now. Okay, and as soon as I realize that there is no more bubbles coming out, we can let it sit. Okay, let it sit for 6 hours, and we will be back. Good morning, everyone. Yes, it's very early in the morning, and I just wanted to show you guys the final result of the candle that I was making yesterday. Right, so it is here. right? So I'm going to mold it in front of you guys and we're going to see the result together. All right, let's go. There we go. You see that ANC candle logo right there? Yep, that's the chunk candle. Okay, this is Redolence. Smells really good. I'll be sending this today to the customer with his wooden car air fresheners. Okay, so now I'm gonna trim the wick and I'm gonna smoothing any imperfections which I don't see in this one. Usually when I used to have my old mold, after this I have to do smoothing of the bottom and all of that stuff. I might still do it like the edges so they are not that sharp. See that? And I might still do it. I'm just smoothing the bottom a little bit. So let me get to that. Let me get this. So this is my, let me get this one ready. I don't know if I plug this on yet. All right, I'm gonna plug that on. Okay, so that's gonna heat up the plate. Then I'm gonna just run the bottom of the candle, run it down there, and that's gonna smoothen the bottom and smoothing out the sharp edges. Okay, I think it's warm enough to go. So I'm just gonna slide this down. Okay. So you guys can see it's smoothing up. That round circle here, it's just gonna be covered with the you can see it's smoothing up. All right, guys, so that's it. All right, now I'm gonna trim this wick, and the way I do it, I have my own device that I use to just measure 1/4, okay, so that it's ready to go for the customer, so the customer doesn't have to trim the wick when they get it. So because most people don't even do it, most customers don't trim their wick, they just get it and they start lighting. If I sent this like this, if I sent this candle like this, I believe this person would just light it up. Okay, they'll just light it up with a wick like this, and that is not good. All right, so I'm gonna, for all my customers, I always trim it for them. I've seen people make candles and they don't trim it. So I have my plastic design. Sorry, I have my plastic device here. You guys can see it right there. It's already cut into the size, into the appropriate size of a wick. Okay, so I'm just going to put it inside, put it over the wick. So right here, guys, I don't know if you guys can see that. So right here is the 1/4. Right now I'm going to use the scissors to cut the excess off. Okay, so that's the excess I cut off. So right here, you see the perfect, all right, size that a wick should be for a candle. All right, So now when this person lights this candle, because the wick is a raw wick, it hasn't been primed, it's gonna take some time for it to catch, meaning for the flame to come up. So what I do, I use a little bit of my wax to just prime on the wick. So once they light it up, it's gonna just light up immediately. Okay, I'll show you guys. All right, so I come here for take some of the wax, and I just prime on the wick. All right, so the wick has been primed. All right, so when it's dried, I'll just slip over this cap, slip it over there. So when they get it, they just remove it and start burning. And for those of you who might say, oh, what if this person is a new candle burner and they don't know that you're supposed to remove this plastic guard or plastic device? What if the person starts burning it and the plastic device is there? That's a good question, and I've made provision for that. That's why I have this that says please remove. Don't know if I'm putting it right for you guys. Get right there. It says please remove. So they will have to remove it before they start burning their candles. All right. So I put that in there. So I put that in there. So it sits on there. So that's how they receive the candle. Okay. So they know please remove. They have to remove this guard so that they can burn their candles. And also they can save this guard whereby whenever they start burning the candle and they want to, cut their wick again, they can use this as a measuring guard or measuring device to know when to cut their, to know where, excuse me, to cut their wick. Okay, so that's what I've made for my candles. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is wrapping this up and then putting it in my box. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how I wrap them up and heat shrink them and get them ready for shipment. Okay. All right, this is my shrink wrap that I use. I got this from Amazon for my business. So I'm just going to cut some part of this. So let's measure this. Okay, that should be good. Okay, so I'll be putting this in. Actually, before I put this in, I got to put the warning label underneath the candle, the base of the candle. So once they remove this plastic, the warning label is still underneath the candle. All right. All right. So here are my warning labels. Okay. So I'm going to attach one under. And there it is. Okay. So now I can put this in. So I'm just going to trim this a little bit more. Take the excess out. Take some of the top out also. Okay, so now I'm just going to trim them with the scissors. Okay, so here it is, the bag. So next step is just going to shrink wrap them. And if you're going to use a shrink wrap, you want to make sure when you use your heat gun, you want to put it in the lowest setting, and just be patient and just go around it. All right. If not, if you put it in the high setting, it's just going to melt it and cause multiple holes on um, your papers, and it's also will melt your candle wax. So you don't want to do that. So you want to take your time and do this. And watch the way I do it. It's just a continuous rotation. All right. All right. You guys can see smooth, right? All wrapped up. All right. So now I'm going to put the label on this. Here is the label for this redolence right there. And here you have it. Okay. So next, I'm gonna put in our box. All right. It won't be complete without putting it in a tissue paper, wrapping it up. Okay, so that will be the next step. Okay, so that's how it's gonna go to the customer. All right, so I'm just gonna put it in the box. Right there. Okay. All right. But wait, there is more. Before I finally close this, I got to put the candle care card. I have to put that in. Okay. All right. So here's a candle care card, and then you have, you know, I'm gonna put the name of this person that bought it. All right. And your first burn. So these are the instructions they need to know for their first burn. Okay. And the note from the owner, which is me, my signature is going to go right here. Okay. And about our candles, things that they need to know about our candles will be here, and how long they burn for, and candle care safety right here. what not to do with your candle. Okay, you have to trim it. You got to burn it 3 to 4 hours without any interruption. The first time you burn it, and burn only on a suitable holder. Okay, all right. Candle facts, things that you need to know that are factual about my candle. Okay, I put them here. And then extinguishing your candle. There are ways you can extinguish you can extinguish your candle. I put them here. Okay, so these are the ways you can, prevent any um, unforeseen circumstances burning my candle. Okay, I've put everything in here for the customer so they know, what to do and what not to do and how to take care of their candles. Okay, all right, this will be going inside the box as well so they know. All right, I'm just going to put their name here, my signature. All right, name is in there and signature. So name is in there and signature is right there. Okay, all right. Final step is to close this up. That's where my thank you comes in, right? All right, so that's what you have. Okay, it's all ready to go. Okay, so when they receive it, they got to break the seal to get it. All right, so that's how I make my candles. All right, you guys can see how premium this is. So I'm giving them an experience. In all my candle or car air freshener is always an experience for them um, to see what they are getting. Okay, so if you're paying premium for something, you want to make sure you're getting the premium. All right, this car air freshener is $28. Okay, this candle is $45. Okay, you guys can see the reason and the justification for these prices. There's a lot of hard work that goes into this, and there's a lot of premium work that goes into this. That's why they are the price they are. Well, I hope you enjoy watching this video. I hope this video has become an inspiration to some of you, or if not all of you. I hope you are seeing the hard work that goes into all of my creation or all of my handmade products. I hope you guys are seeing it, and I hope you guys will able to duplicate this or replicate this and use it for your business. Candle making or car air freshener making shouldn't be a tedious work, shouldn't be difficult if you just know the right steps or the right things to do. Selling them might be difficult if you also don't know what you're doing, because if you don't price your product right, people will not buy them. And if you price your product right but you sell it to the wrong audience, they will not buy it. So my candles are not sold to just anybody or anywhere. Like, I know people who I target, I know people I go for. So it's not every day I'm going to be selling candles, because my candles cannot be seen in a Dollar Tree store, right? Nobody will want to buy that. Okay, they're not going to buy it for $45 if it's sitting in a 99-cent store, right? So there is a target audience that I go for, and those are the ones that patronize me on a daily, on a weekly, I should say, or bi-weekly basis. I don't sell this daily. I don't sell this every day. I don't sell this every day as well. Okay, these are just once a week sale or once a 2 week sale. But the car air freshener that I sell, the regular ones, those are the ones that are sold every day. Okay, those are different. All right, and I will be sending this out today.